Oh, come on. The fuck? Alright, so... Oh? Noise? Alright, OBS is working fine. I should be wearing makeup, but I guess we're gonna just work with the light. Hopefully the weird will cover for some of my ugliness. Been listening too much to The Who, and by that I mean the H-U. You. Huh. It's a Mongolian type of band. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is just listening to an audiobook for la gran puta. To be honest, I'm listening to an audiobook right now. I'm not sure if I can. It's World War C. The book is significantly different from the movie. Remember, I use nude models, so you might be looking at nudity if this is something you're sensitive about. Please remove yourself. Fuck. So that's the thing, listening to something and drawing seems to be an issue for me. So okay. Yeah, I made a mistake. I know I made a mistake. Oh, let's see, maybe I can make OBS a little wider, even though it's not gonna look real now. That doesn't make sense to make it wider. I'm using Krita here. I'm using Krita, just maybe, yeah, like there. Yeah, I think that can work with that setup. And let's see here. Alright, go a little lower. Get down tonight. What the fuck? There we go. There we go. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Okay, so right now it's just gesture. Oh fuck, what the fuck am I doing? Alright. And even though I'm looking at very nice models, something I should be working on a little more. I guess I could come back to this. I thought I was going to be listening to something, but I won't. Simple fact is that I can't listen, talk, and draw all at the same time. And I'm trying to have a conversation with you guys if anyone's listening. I right now have to work on a commission. Ah, fuck. And I have to warm up my eyes and my hand it's still a very physical thing, of course, to draw and try to understand how your body works through the motions. And yeah, making your body do something very specific. Alright. What I'm using right now are pictures by Hong Lee that are part of the collection at Line of Action. And yeah, I wish I could say I'd be listening to music. I would at least be listening to music, but to be honest, it does seem to interfere when I'm trying to have a conversation. Yeah, I don't know, I've been getting a lot of this picture lately. Spider-Man type of picture, Venom type of picture. Not that I'm not a Spidey fan, I even bought a couple comics when I was a kid. I never bought a full series, my mom wouldn't have allowed it. They were expensive here and difficult to find. And those that were original were way too expensive, especially for what my mom would think that was not a prime necessity. And I can't disagree. We were on a tight budget. I wanted them, but I knew I wanted to eat more than that. So yeah. Now, we were not necessarily starving or anything like that. That would be a lie. But my parents struggled. We had a wonderful life, though. I was spoiled for most part. Just going too fast, and I'm trying to talk at the same time. Okay, I'm a dude in a regular one. Testosterone already has me thinking about sex, looking at so many women naked, and blocking that and annulling that fact that I'm seeing this in a sexual light, an erotic light. And trying to evoke something beautiful, yet not necessarily erotic, is not easy. Oh. But right now it's just a gesture. I just want to understand what the figure is kind of doing. I might go back and try to work on one of this if I had just that much time. Crap. Oh, I love this model. Love her so much. I don't know why student looks. I like it so much. When I teach English, people say, "Me, I like it so much," and I don't know why they say that. It's like they're not really analyzing what they are saying. I don't know why they do that. Like they want a formula. Now I speak English because I follow this formula. And guess what? You don't speak a language because you follow a formula. Especially not a language. There is grammar, of course, and I'm an obnoxious grammarian, especially when it comes to teaching. I'm annoyed by the fact that how people use grammar when they are speaking, especially native. So you're like, you are ruining everything I teach. But it's not that different from the way we speak Spanish. It's difficult to teach Spanish because the rules of grammar are so many more, and so varied, and so I'm gonna go with arid, both arid and annoying. As language sounds simple because it's a very phonetically simple language. However, it's not a Spanish is not a language that you use to think simply. So yeah. Oh. I'm thinking about teaching drawing for a while. You know, like for beginners. Maybe that's gonna push me. I see, push my grammar. It might push my skills. It might force me to polish my skills. And yeah, I mean, I guess I can do that. Teach a beginners group. I wouldn't say I would like to teach painting. That's not true. I haven't painted much. Not that I haven't painted, but I haven't painted much. For 7 years, what I've been doing is drawing. Very few dry spells, and when I have a dry spell, what happens is that I don't create anything myself. I just like right now, I'm basically on a dry spell. I haven't done any of my own stuff, my personal stuff. I've just done exercises, follow paths, follow other artists, and yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, crap. Well, hello there. Believe it or not, Marcus J. Ranum has these pictures where he portrays a fairy from a black woman. Traditionally speaking, considering that the trope is not necessarily African or Caribbean, it's surprising to me to see surprising for me to see a fairy portrayed in a black woman. I don't know what's the lore in fairies. I think they are very European, and everything else from Africa, the genie and the angel is what's representative, but not fairies. Oh crap. I guess that SJWs really don't know what they're doing, and just trying to push an agenda down people's throats is as obnoxious as telling people my religion is better than yours. Makes that much sense, you know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't make sense. Being PC is not indispensable. It does not make you a better person. If anything, it makes you an egotistic piece of crap. I haven't lived racism much, although when I've worked with tourists, and Americans can be very racist, especially even if they are visitors in this country, and they still act racist. And at the very least, classist, and severely classist. Like, I'm better than you because I have more money, or because my money and my government has oppressed yours enough so that my wage has more direct power of purchase than yours. Because yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, if an SJW want to do something, unionize things, don't let people live out of a union, don't let people go without paid vacations, don't let people go without paid leave. I mean, that's being as a proper SJW. buying organic just means that you want to pay more money for the same product, and you're not really doing who you're helping. I mean, it's stupid to say I buy organic. You barely know where it comes from, and you really don't know what makes it more organic than the rest. You don't want it to have pesticides. Pesticides can be used in different ways. Here in Guatemala, they've designed this thing where they use a form of red hot pepper as a pesticide. And most insects will not come close to any form of pepper or onion, for that matter. So a lot of people do that. A lot of people seed or grow onions with the other crops. But then again, of course, there's other like if a shop is going low on product, they drop a worm or something, and the people have no other choice but to buy their pesticides. They don't even need the corporation to be greedy or to tell people to do it. People do it all on their own. I mean, yeah. SJWs really want to do something. Denounce people using poor capitalist or poor competition strategies to teach people not to just win, and you don't teach people not to expect to win by not manipulating the system, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. I'm a little hyped about this The Witcher thing and what they're doing to the characters. I think it's gonna be as well. To be honest, I took the TV show from Poland as what it was, a soap opera with the base of the folklore of the area, and if you take it like that, I mean, it's not great. It's not what you should have expected. It's not what you wanted out of the characters, nor what you think the characters could have been done, because they were trying to imitate. They were trying to imitate Hollywood. They were trying to emulate Hollywood. There was no need to emulate Hollywood at no given time. There was just a need to Hollywood, it's been successful, but it has not been the only thing that has been successful. And especially when you're talking about so specific tropes, fantasy tropes especially, and political tropes as well. I mean, how kingdoms were separated at first and then became republics, and yeah, a lot of other things that have happened in Eastern Europe. You don't need to be extremely well read. I mean, you read a little bit of Dostoevsky and you read a little bit of Tolstoy, and you understand what was going on. You can at least get an idea, not the perfect one, but you get a sense of the Slavic history. And everything makes sense, and everything still feels watered down, you still feel the water. ¿Aló? ¿Qué onda? ¿Sí? ¿Qué pasó? No, se fue al cumpleaños de la cosa de la ah, un bautizo que había de Life getting in the way. I'm sorry if you're watching. I'm really sorry. You had to see that. You had to witness that. But yeah, I mean, I'm alive in here. Alive and without much respect from my people around me for what I'm doing when I'm drawing. They take it as a hobby, and I'm trying to make an income out of it. But yeah, it's basically a hobby. I'm a teacher. I teach languages and literature, and yeah, art's just something that happens in the middle. I would love to. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can make it a main income. I mean, I cannot teach a million people, but I can make a video that a million people watch if possible. But I still think animation and art can do that a lot better than me trying to teach. So yeah. Okay. Of all the topics I've talked about, I still want to address the one about The Witcher a lot more, because I think that getting Hollywood to, or people from Hollywood or from that background, even if they don't have that background, if they are SJWs that trying to reach, when you're talking about The Witcher, you're talking about a global phenomenon. People from different cultures have played the game, because of the games, we have read the books, or at least bought the one or another audiobook, or even heard some of the audiobooks online. And we've become part of it. We've understood the lore. We've understood how different it is from our culture, everything they're telling of this story, and how different races, how they see color, skin, which is not relevant, honestly. The fact is that they don't recognize much difference in color, but paler, not darker. And that's what the trope talks about. I mean, you can go for paler, but you cannot go necessarily darker, because it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense back then. And we're talking about a period maybe between the 1700s to the 1800s, maybe even before that. Yeah, maybe even before that, like maybe 1500s to the 1600s. And that's what the stories try to evoke. That's what the game tries to evoke. And if you had any form of color back then, it's because you were a slave or part of the Ottoman Empire, I suppose. And Ottoman Empire, I don't know. And yeah, I don't think it makes sense to try to make something like The Witcher multiracial. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, why would you care to do something like The Witcher multiracial? It's stupid. First of all, I have some other images I need to. Okay. Now we have some sort of a priestess here for 5 minutes. Let's see what I can do. And again, this is a very white priestess. Well, I started talking about these tropes because about this topic because I saw a black looking black skin fairy. I think you can make fairies any color you care for, and they do fit in most lores, such as angels and devils and demons do. I mean, you can make a demon any color you like for You can make angels almost any color you care for. Thing is, they are creatures of light, so they are supposed to be portrayed as surrounded by light. And that's the only thing you have to consider when you're talking about an angel. What you're not supposed to consider when you're making an angel, and this is not something they really talk about much, but in the Bible, is gender. I have not seen any lore that makes a big reference to an angel having a specific gender. And that makes up to some point sense. Makes Angels of America more I mean, being an SJW makes sense when you're doing it for the right reasons, not because shows are supposed to be one or another thing. I mean, it's just stupid. I'm not sure if Dan Marino was thinking about that when he made the Avatar. He mixed races, he gave different races, but he based it on what you would see in China. So some people would be Cantonese, for example, or Mongolian, and these people would have darker skin, as they do in Mongolia or Canton.